drillers, it's a big daddy cool! What we saying, my drillers? Oi oi! So today, I'd like to talk to you all about, does Demonology have too much RNG? Well, the simple answer to that question, at least according to me, is yes. But for those of you who are inquisitive and would like to know why I have this opinion, and what facts I would determine to drive such an answer, then stay around, let us find out. So, in order to really talk about Demonology RNG, I think what we're going to have to do is go into our talents here. Of course, we have, well, let's look at something a little bit beforehand. If you don't mind me swapping windows a little bit. Critical strikes, of course, are a very RNG factor in this game. It's something we always have to take into account and can cause a lot of variance in our damage. Do I have any logs here of... Nah, don't have any logs there of some of the raid fights I've done. But, wow, you can get fights where you're doing a few 100k DPS, like 400k DPS or 200k DPS on your burst, just because your pit lord doesn't crit. So, right now the build you're looking at here, this is my standard Mythic Plus build, and what I think we should look at first is our class tree. So, of course, we've got quite a few damage amplifiers and health amplifiers, you know, increased attack speed and health of pets, and imp damage increase, and shadowbolt damage increase. That's all well and good, so these are base modifiers to really think about with the Demonology damage profiles. I'm going to talk to you about some of these RNG factors as we go through the video. So, where does RNG actually come in with the class tree, you might be thinking? Well, we've got Grimrage Synergy. Damage done by you or your demon has a chance to grant the other one 10% increased damage for 15 seconds. So, just randomly, don't know what this chance is, because Blizzard doesn't tell us. My Felguard could give me extra damage, or I could give my Felguard extra damage. I'm assuming this is primary demon, because, well, I don't have 100% uptime as this is Demonology, or 97% or something ridiculous like that. Seeing as I have so many pets, the entire armada that I summon in would, in theory, pretty regardless of chance, give me very high uptime on this. Then, on top of that, we have Soul Conduit, you know, you have a chance to refund soul shards, okay? You know, this just sounds, it's a bit nice, this is actually huge. This can really put stuff like your Tyrants and your Pit Lords to a whole new level. Of course, we're burst spec, so the more damage we can get into a Tyrant and Pit Lord, the more damage we do overall. That's it. The stuff in between doesn't really matter. Solely in those windows sort of thing. I guess in Mythic Plus it does change a little bit, but it's more due to sort of your Fellstorms, your Guillotines, and then lining that all up with big implosions. And of course, yeah, the buffs from Tyrant are very, very strong for AoE scenarios. Then we have another layer of RNG, which Inquisitor's Gaze, which randomly does this Fel Barrage thing you might see on Warlock damage profiles. All specs have this. And I think this is an issue, to be honest. Like, yeah, you could just randomly do huge damage from this, and you can randomly not. It's quite literally a flip of a coin if you get an extra bit of passive damage, which is quite big. So, yeah, already we're getting into zones of quite ridiculous variance due to RNG. Now, if we move on to the spec tree, so, you know, Destro and Athlete players, turn your ears off because this doesn't affect you anymore. Now going here over to the spec tree, they've got stuff like a Hog has a 50% chance to give a Demonic Core, okay. Doesn't really matter too much, that. And then there's Bloodbound Imps, more Demonic Core RNG chances. And then there's the other Demonic Core RNG chances, which, I mean, yeah, that was quite messy last season on top of all the guaranteed Demonic Core stuff. It's a shame that we've now lost a reliable source of demonic core in the third Dreadstalker, and we're now more reliant on RNG with our demon cores. So yeah, it's demonic cores are quite RNG based these days. Quite worrying. What else was it? Okay, yeah, so we've got talents here which increases critical strike chance of a Felguard. Right, so that's another flip of a coin we're relying on. We're relying on more a critical strike chance. And here we go again. Critical strike chance. It's like, we can't escape it. Oh, and look. Those crit strikes are now even more important. Like, we need them for big damage now. So, yeah, it's pretty mad. And then, we've got this very small window in which we get a 5% damage buff to targets during, well, from Fellstorms. So, not only do we want these crits to happen, but we want them to happen in this window for the most amount of damage. And then, if our crits are Shadow or Flame, then we need it to happen within our, it's not Dreadlash window, it's, yeah, Stratagem window, which is the Dreadbite debuff, making things take more damage. But the uptime of that is also RNG, because there's a chance that it can do it again. But of course now it's a much lower chance than it was last couple seasons, because we lost our third Dreadstalker. But for some reason we kept Imp Gang Boss, which was the tier set I don't think any Demonology Warlock liked. We just liked the third Dreadstalker, not Imp Gang Boss. But this in itself is an issue, because we have a... Shut up, Falkiel. Damn artifact. But yeah, so summoning a Wild Imp has a chance to be... Well, you could summon your average gym goer, or you could summon Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, you know? It's a flip of a coin. Not only that, but that imp does more damage, yeah, from both its Fellfire bolts and being imploded, and then it summons another imp. So your demon count is now even more on the RNG variants, which is very important for stuff like Gul'dan's Ambition. Or is it Ner'zhul's Volition? No, Gul'dan's Ambition. And the Reign of Tyranny. So yeah, we're now looking at very high levels of RNG. And we're gonna go into some other stuff. So, you know, there's Pact of the Imp Mother, 6% chance to double Hand of Gul'dan. This talent's so bad that we don't have to talk about the RNG of it. Let's just hope it never sees the light of day, because the RNG of it is stupid. Yeah, none of these are really RNG reliant. This Umbral Blaze is actually part of our raid build now. Our Hand of Gul'dan has an RNG chance to do another dot for damage. You seeing where I'm getting a little bit frustrated here? Yeah, that's quite big. I haven't spoke about inner demons as well. So, you passively summon an imp every 12 seconds. But you have a 5% chance to not just summon an imp, but another demon. But there's an even lower chance that that demon could actually be 3 demons. You get 3 Eyes of Gul'dan. And they all count as separate units. That's pretty big for your Gul'dan's Ambition. And I believe it only counts as 1 unit to Reign of Tyranny though. So, that's okay. But, you know, there's more stacks on your Pit Lord. It's massive. Not only that, but you can also summon Prince Malchezaar, which, in of itself, is a demon that does a lot of damage. I believe in his lifetime, which is a very small lifetime, he can do 150k damage, which is a lot more than all the other random demons you'll summon. So there's even more variants for getting big damage, you know? Mental, that. So, we have such an RNG variance in our pet count. And of course, I've spoken to you, this is massive on Gul'dan's Ambition and Reign of Tyranny. Gul'dan's ambition, though, does have a cap. So, you know, as soon as you're over that 20, which every good demo lock would be over that 20, then, yeah, the RNG variance of demon count doesn't matter for this talent. And, yeah, Reign of Tyranny, I'm fairly certain, just goes infinitely. So, you know, that's, still gonna make a difference. Although, luckily, it is only based on imps. Okay? So long as you keep RNG getting extra imps, then amazing. Actually, no, there is a few other things that it does affect, such as GFG and Dreadstalkers. I don't know why I said that. I started reading things and being stupid. But yeah, big variance there. Now on top of that, we have Ner'zhul's Volition. When you summon a demon, you've... realistically, you'd be on 30% because you put both points in. 30% chance to summon another demon. Well, the Nether Portal, when it brings out a demon, because you've spent a Soul Shard, is a 30% chance to have another demon as well. So this is massive variance. Of course, these lesser demons that are summoned by, like, the extra ones from Inner Demons and Ner'zhul's Volition, and just coming out from Nether Portal, don't affect Reign of Tyranny. They do affect Gul'dan's Ambition, but like I say, you'll be over the cap anyway. That's really big. Now, there's a bit of a resurgence in, well, as we know the memes, Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt is Demonology's damage now. Which means we're running Sacrifice Souls. Which makes both of these abilities, which are, you know, starting to really make a difference in variance of damage profiles. Those extra demons I told you that didn't count to Reign of Tyranny and probably won't affect Gul'dan's Volition, whatever it's called. Ambition? Yeah, Ambition. They affect this damage. Which is crazy to think about. But do you want to know how to get the biggest damage Demon Bolt in the game? Well, not only do you need to do your Pit Lord and Tyrant rotation perfectly, you need to get good RNG with your Imp Gang bosses, good RNG with your Inner Demons, good RNG with your Ner'zhul's Volition, good RNG with your Grimrar's Synergy, of course, more demons summoned if you have good RNG with your Soul Conduit, and at the end of your Nether Portal, the last button press, really, last few button presses, you'd probably be able to get a massive Demon Bolt out, but the absolute best one, you need to have Fell Sunder active on the target, 5 stacks. You need to, of course, have your Stratagem active, but you've got multiple sets of Dreadstalkers, so you're not relying on the RNG on that. At this instance, at least. And then, you need to not only send off your Demon Bolt, you need to make sure that's the Power Siphon Demon Bolt. Yeah? And it crits. That is how you get the biggest damage Demon Bolt in the game at the moment. If that Demon Bolt were to hit, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it could crit to about 400k. With the perfect RNG, that wouldn't surprise me. I am looking at the very, very, very high-end bounds of what that Demon Bolt can do, but 400k would not surprise me. Imagine that! 400k from a single hit. Yes, I know. Our Pit Lords and our Tyrant, when they crit, they can do between 200 and 300k. Pretty crazy damage. Exaggerations in those bounds, yes, but it is sort of region it's in. And that's another thing you're so reliant on your Pit Lord or Tyrant critting for really good damage. When you don't even take that much crit anyway. It's like... You need the stars to align to do good damage as Demonology at the moment. It is crazy. Even like with the Prescience Evoker buff and stuff like that, we're still memeing how my Pit Lord can literally get like 1 or 2 crits, and I'll be doing quite low DPS for what I could be doing. And even then, those crits can sometimes hit for nothing. A big fat 0. 0 DPS. So, not only do you need this crit to happen in the perfect window, but you also need to hope it doesn't just bug out and go to 0. So yeah, tell me if you think Demonology RNG is too high or too low. I think the variance in DPS and all this RNG with Demonology is insane, really. And, yeah, I would really like a rework. In the coming days, though, I am going to talk to you about a nice potential rework that I would do for Demonology. So stay tuned, look out for that video. Please be sure to follow me on my other platforms. Twitch, Kick, Twitter, a few other things. I'll drop all the links down there. Of course, join our Discord server, and there'll be something else in the description for you to check out temporarily. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a long one, and your patience is greatly appreciated. See you later, my drillers.